الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. وصلنا إلى باب ما يفسد الصوم ويوجب الكفارة. We reached the chapter of باب ما يفسد الصوم, the chapter, the things that corrupt your fasting, ويوجب الكفارة, and necessitate a كفارة. يقول الشيخ العثيمين رحمه الله: قوله باب ما يفسد الصوم أي يبطله، والصوم يشمل الفرض والنفل. والعلماء رحمهم الله لهم أساليب في تسمية الأبواب معناها واحد ولكن تختلف لفظا. ففي الوضوء يسمون المفسدات نواقض، وفي الغسل يسمونها موجبات الغسل، وفي باب الصلاة يسمونها مبطلات الصلاة، وفي الصوم يسمونها مفسدات الصوم، وفي باب الإحرام يسمونها محذورات الإحرام، وكل هذه المعنى فيها واحد. So Al-Hajjawi now begins a chapter regarding the things that invalidate someone's fasting and necessitate and rulings regarding al-kaffara, and we'll talk about that. So the Shaykh says, rahimahullah, explaining the headline there, the title, he says, Babu ma yufsidu as-sawm, meaning invalidates it. So the things that corrupt your fast, meaning invalidate your fast. And sawm, fasting here includes al-fard and al-nafl. So these are things that corrupt your fasting, whether it's fard or nafl. He says, and the ulama rahimahumullah, they have ways in naming their chapters, and the meaning is one, even though the wording is different. So for example, when it comes to wudu, they say the things that invalidate your wudu, they say nawaqid al-wudu. They call it nawaqid. And then when it comes to ghusl, they call it mujibat al-ghusl, the things that necessitate ghusl. And then when it comes to salah, they call the things that invalidate your prayer mubtilat as-salah, the invalidators of the salah. And then when it comes to fasting, they call it what? Mufsidat as-sawm. Mufsidat as-sawm. In al-ihram, they call it mahdhurat al-ihram. Mahdhurat al-ihram, meaning the forbidden things during ihram. And he's saying the meaning in all this is one. The meaning in all of this is one. قال رحمه الله: والمفسد للصوم يسمى عند العلماء المفطرات وأصولها ثلاثة ذكرها الله عز وجل في قوله: فالآن باشروهن وابتغوا ما كتب الله لكم وكلوا واشربوا حتى يتبين لكم الخيط الأبيض من الخيط الأسود من الفجر ثم أتموا الصيام إلى الليل. وقد أجمع العلماء على أن هذه الثلاثة تفسد الصوم، وما سوى ذلك سيأتي إن شاء الله الكلام عليه. He says, and these things that corrupt the fast, the ulama call it what? Al-mufattirat. Al-mufattirat, the things that break your fast. And the basis of these mufattirat goes back to three things, which Allah mentioned in His statement, فَالْآنَ بَاشِرُوهُنَّ وَابْتَغُوا مَا كَتَبَ اللَّهُ لَكُمْ وَكُلُوا وَاشْرَبُوا حَتَّى يَتَبَيَّنَ لَكُمُ الْخَيْطُ الْأَبْيَضُ مِنَ الْخَيْطِ الْأَسْوَدِ مِنَ الْفَجْرِ ثُمَّ أَتِمُّوا الصِّيَامَ إِلَى اللَّيْلِ. So now, have relations with them and yarhamukallah, and seek that which Allah has decreed for you, and eat and drink until the white thread of dawn becomes distinct to you from the black thread, then complete the fast until nighttime. And so he says the ulama are in agreement. There's a consensus that these three things corrupt the fast. And they are what? Intercourse, eating, drinking. Intercourse, eating, drinking, and it's all mentioned in this ayah. This is a consensus that these things break the fast. Now there's other things that we're going to talk about, inshaAllah, he said. قوله ويوجب الكفارة. الكفارة هنا للعهد الذهني، فهي الكفارة المعروفة، عتق رقبة فإن لم يجد فصيام شهرين متتابعين فإن لم يستطع فإطعام 60 مسكينا. ويوجب الكفارة and necessitate a كفارة. His statement and necessitate a كفارة. الكفارة here is referring to the known كفارة in this as it relates to this aspect of fiqh, and it is freeing a slave, and if he can't find, then he fasts 2 consecutive months, and if he can't, then he feeds 60 poor people. That's the kafara as it relates to this. وسيأتي الكلام على هذا إن شاء الله. We're going to talk about al-kafara once we reach it إن شاء الله. قال الحجاوي رحمه الله من أكل يقول الشيخ قوله من أكل من هذه شرطية، وجوابه قوله فسد صومه، أي كأنه قال من أكل فسد صومه. هذا جواب الشرط، لأنه قال من أكل أو شرب أو استعط أو احتقن أو فعل كذا أو كذا أو كذا، ما هو الجواب؟ فقد فسد صومه. كأنه قال من أكل فقد فسد صومه، من شرب فقد فسد صومه، من استعط فقد فسد صومه، إلى آخره. قال الشيخ والأكل هو إدخال الشيء إلى المعدة عن طريق الفم. So Al-Hajjawi says there at the top what? Man akala. Whoever eats. And whoever eats. The Shaykh says this is a condition. Whoever eats. Okay, what's the answer now? He's saying whoever eats or drinks or ista'ata, this. Okay, what's the answer? Fasada sawmu. His fasting is corrupted. So he's going to mention a number of things, and then he mentions the answer at the end, and that is that his fasting is corrupted. So it's as if he's saying here at the top, whoever eats, his fasting is corrupted. And whoever drinks, his fasting is corrupted. And whoever administers something through the nose, his fasting is corrupted. And so on and so on. He's going to mention al-mufattirat. قال الشيخ, the Shaykh says, and eating, so this is the first mufattir. And that is eating. The Shaykh says, eating is to admit something into the stomach through the mouth. Is to admit something into the stomach through the mouth. قال رحمه الله وقولنا إدخال الشيء يشمل ما ينفع وما يضر وما لا يضر ولا ينفع، فما ينفع كاللحم والخبز وما أشبه ذلك، وما يضر كأكل الحشيشة ونحوها، وما لا نفع فيه ولا ضرر مثل أن يبتلع خرزة سبحة أو نحوها. وهذا مذهب الحنفية والمالكية والشافعية والحنابلة في من أكل ما لا يؤكل عادة. مذهب حنفية مالكية شافعية حنابلة، المذاهب الأربعة، على أن من أكل ما لا يؤكل عادة فقد فسد صومه. فقد فسد صومه. أما ما يؤكل عادة فهذا يفسد صومه بالإجماع. فمن أكل ما لا يؤكل عادة فقد فسد صومه باتفاق المذاهب الفقهية الأربعة. وبعض الناس عندهم عادة سيئة، وهي أنهم يأكلون أظفارهم والجلد الذي يكون حول الظفر. فمن فعل هذا متعمدا أي ابتلعه فقد فسد صومه وإن لم يكن فيه نفع للجسم. قال: ووجه العموم إطلاق الآية كلوا واشربوا، وهذا يسمى أكلا. He says our statement at putting some or inserting something, meaning into the stomach through the mouth, that includes that which is beneficial and that which is harmful, and that which is neither beneficial nor harmful. So something beneficial would be like eating meat, bread, and the like of. And that which is harmful is like eating al-hashisha and the like of. That which is harmful. Hashisha is a type of narcotic drug. It has a harmful effect. And so that's whether it's beneficial, whether it's harmful, or whether it has no benefit or no harm. He says, as for something which has no benefit or no harm, for example, he eats like a bead, and similar things. And this regarding eating that which usually isn't eaten, something which isn't usually eaten, that it breaks the fast, is the madhab of, what did we say? All four madhab. Hanafiya, Malikiyya, Shafi'iyya, Hanabila. They say that whatever isn't normally eaten, if someone eats it, then his fasting is corrupted. His fasting is corrupted. And some people, they have a bad habit, right? They bite their nails and they eat the skin around their nails. So if someone does that while they're fasting and they swallow it on purpose, their fasting is corrupted. So it's regardless of whether it's beneficial or harmful or it has no nutritional benefit. If you eat it, then you have broken your fast. وقال بعض أهل العلم إن ما لا يغذي لا فطر بأكله، وبناء على هذا فإن بلع الخرزة أو الحصاة أو ما أشبههما لا يفطر، والصحيح أنه عام، وأن كل ما ابتلعه الإنسان من نافع أو ضار أو ما لا نفع فيه ولا ضرر فإنه مفطر لإطلاق الآية. He says, and some of the people of knowledge said that if it doesn't provide a nutritional benefit, then it doesn't break your fast. Okay? And he says, and so according to that, if someone ate a bead or a small pebble or something similar, then his fast isn't broken. Why not? Because it has no nutritional benefit. And this is a minority of the people of knowledge who said that. So if someone's fasting and they rip off some paper and they eat it, then the fast isn't broken. He says, however, the correct position is that it is general, and that whatever a person swallows, whether it's beneficial or harmful or has no benefit or no harm, then it breaks the fast due to the generality of the ayah. قوله أو شرب قال الحجاوي رحمه الله أو شرب قوله أو شرب قال الشيخ رحمه الله الشرب يشمل ما ينفع وما يضر وما لا نفع فيه ولا ضرر فكل ما يشرب من ماء أو مرق أو لبن أو دم أو دخان أو غير ذلك فإنه داخل في قول المؤلف أو شرب. Al-Hajjawi said, or drinks. Or drinks. The Shaykh says, his statement, or drinks, he says drinking includes that which is beneficial and that which is harmful and that which has no benefit or no, neither benefit nor harm. And so whatever is drunk, whether it be water or soup or milk or blood or smoking or anything other than that, then it is included in the statement of the author, أو شرب, or drinks. And so what is the answer? أو شرب, what's the answer? فسد صوم. His fasting is corrupted. قال الشيخ ويلحق بالأكل والشرب ما كان بمعناهما بمعنى الأكل والشرب كالإبر المغذية التي تغني عن الأكل والشرب. The Shaykh says, and also whatever has the meaning of eating and drinking falls under this ruling. Falls under this ruling. Whatever has the meaning, contains the meaning of eating and drinking, even though you may not be actively eating or drinking. He says such as nutritional injections. Injections which provide you a nutritional benefit. And they are a substitute for eating and drinking. So whatever is a substitute for eating and drinking is also included. It falls under the category of eating and drinking. ثم ذكر الحجاوي رحمه الله الاستعاض ولم يذكر الجماع مع أنه من أصول المفطرات لم يذكره هنا لكثرة الأحكام المتعلقة به. And then he said أو استعط. أو استعط. And notice he didn't talk about al-jima', intercourse. Even though we said the three main things that break your fast are eating, drinking, or intercourse. Why didn't he mention it right away? Because there's a lot of rulings attached to it. So he delayed it till the end due to the numerous rulings that are attached to that way of breaking your fast. And we'll talk about it when we get to it بإذن الله تعالى. فذكر الاستعاض. He said أو استعط. أو استعط. استعط, translate it, write it there above it as nasal administration. Nasal administration. قوله قال رحمه الله قوله أو استعط أي تناول السعوط. السعوط على وزن رسول. أي تناول السعوط والسعوط ما يصل إلى الجوف عن طريق الأنف فإنه مفطر. السعوط ما يصل إلى الجوف عن طريق الأنف فإنه مفطر لأن الأنف منفذ يصل إلى المعدة يصل إلى الحلق ثم إلى المعدة ولهذا من استعط فإنه يجد طعم الدواء في حلقه. قال لأن الأنف منفذ يصل إلى المعدة ودليل ذلك قول النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم للقيط بن صبرة وبالغ في الاستنشاق إلا أن تكون صائما. He says his statement أو استعطى. What's استعطى? Nasal administration. And that is to take as-sa'ud. Ista'ata means to take as-sa'ud. As-sa'ud is that which is administered through the nose. It's what's administered through the nose. Medicine, like a liquid or a solution, which is administered through the nose. He says, فَإِنَّهُ مُفَطِّرٌ. It is something which breaks the fast. Why? Because the nose is a means, is a channel to the stomach. Right? The nose is a means to the stomach. It goes to your throat, then it goes to your stomach. That's why some people, when they take medicine through their nose, they taste it in their throat. He says, and the evidence for this is the statement of the Prophet ﷺ to Laqit ibn Sabira and وَبَالِغ, meaning emphasize, exaggerate. Al-istinshaq. What is istinshaq? Is when you pull the water through your nose. He's saying exaggerate al-istinshaq unless you are fasting. Exaggerate istinshaq unless you are fasting. What does it mean to exaggerate it then? Na'am, you emphasize it when you do it, and you try to take it into the highest part of your nose. And some people, they put like that, and they say that's istinshaq. They call that istinshaq. That's not. You have to sniff it in. And emphasizing it is encouraged. It's better. It's better. He says to Laqit ibn Sabr, unless you're fasting. Unless you're fasting, then don't exaggerate it. Don't emphasize it. قال الشيخ رحمه الله وهذا يدل على أن الصائم لا يبالغ في الاستنشاق ولا نعلم لهذا علة إلا أن المبالغة تكون سببا لوصول الماء إلى المعدة وهذا مخل بالصوم وعلى هذا فنقول كل ما وصل إلى المعدة عن طريق الأنف أو الفم فإنه مفطر كل ما وصل إلى المعدة عن طريق الأنف أو الفم فإنه مفطر. He says, rahimahullah, and this proves, meaning this hadith, what is it? Exaggerate al-istinshaq unless you are fasting. He says this proves that the fasting person shouldn't exaggerate al-istinshaq. Well, why shouldn't you exaggerate it? No, not it is. It may. It may. He says, and we don't know any reason for this except that exaggerating it may be a cause for the water to reach the stomach. Because if you exaggerate it, it reaches the highest part of your nose and goes down to your throat and may go down to your stomach. He says, and this, violates fasting. And so he says, and so according to this, we say, whatever reaches the stomach by way of the nose or mouth, then it breaks the fast. Whatever reaches the stomach by way of the nose or mouth, even more so, then it breaks the fast. ويقال كذلك ما وصل من السعوط إلى الحلق فإنه مفطر. إذا وصل إلى الحلق فإنه مفطر. ولا سيما أن ما وصل إلى الحلق منه فإنه يصل إلى أقصى الحلق ولا تكاد تستطيع أن ترده فينفذ إلى المعدة فإذا وصل السعوط إلى الحلق فسد الصوم. ولهذا قال الشيخ رحمه الله في بعض الفتاوى له قال قطرة الأنف إذا وصلت إلى المعدة أو إلى الحلق فإنها تفطر. إذا وصلت إلى المعدة أو إلى الحلق فإنها تفطر لأن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال في حديث لقيط بن صبرة بالغ في الاستنشاق إلا أن تكون صائما فلا يجوز للصائم أن يقطر في أنفه ما يصل إلى معدته أو إلى حلقه وأما ما لا يصل إلى ذلك من قطرة الأنف فإنها لا تفطر الصائم. انتهى كلامه رحمه الله. Also, something which is also included in this ruling, because notice, what did we just say the Shaykh said? Whatever reaches the stomach through the nose or mouth. So if it reaches the stomach through the nose, it breaks the fast. Also, it breaks the fast if it reaches the throat. So if you take something through your nose and you find the taste in your throat, then the fast is broken. The fast is broken. Especially because that when you take something through the nose and it gets to the throat, it gets all the way to the back of the throat. And it's very difficult to repel it. It's not like something in your mouth that you can control, right? When you take it from the nose, it goes all the way to the back of if it does go down to the throat, it goes to the back of the throat and goes down to the stomach. And so, if you take a sa'ud, a liquid solution, and similarly nose drops through the nose, and it reaches your throat, you taste it in your throat, then the fast is broken. The Shaykh rahimahullah said in a fatwa lahu, and it's not here, this is from a different source. He says nose drops, if it reaches the stomach or the throat. Notice here, there's an extra, he didn't mention that here in the text we have. This is something additional. So it's important. He says nose drops, if it reaches the stomach or the throat, then it breaks the fast. Because the Prophet ﷺ said in the hadith to Laqit ibn Sabira, and exaggerate al-istinshaq unless you are fasting. He said, and so it is not permissible for a fasting person to put drops in his nose which will reach his stomach or throat. If you know it will reach the stomach or throat, you can't put it in your nose. He says, and if it doesn't reach that, the nose drops, then it doesn't break one's fast. See? Then that's an important addition to what we have here. And that is what? What is the addition? If it reaches the throat through the nose. If it reaches the throat through the nose. قال الحجاوي رحمه الله أو احتقن. Al-Hajjawi said, what? أو احتقن. احتقن, put above it as a translation, rectal administration. Rectal administration. Through the rectum, through your behind. قال رحمه الله قوله أو احتقن. الاحتقان هو إدخال الأدوية عن طريق الدبر وهو معروف. والاحتقان قد يكون بمائع فيخلط بالماء أو بغيرها من السوائل المحاليل ويسمى في الطب أنمة وقد يكون بجامد وهو الذي يسميه الناس التحاميل. قال وهو معروف ولا يزال يعمل فإذا احتقن فإنه يفطر بذلك لأن العلة وصول الشيء إلى الجوف والحقنة تصل إلى الجوف أي تصل إلى شيء مجوف في الإنسان فتصل إلى الأمعاء فتكون مفطرة. فإذا وصل إلى الجوف شيء عن طريق الفم أو الأنف أو أي منفذ كان فإنه يكون مفطرا. هذا تعليلهم. وهذا هو المشهور من مذهب الإمام أحمد وعليه أكثر أهل العلم. وعليه أكثر أهل العلم. نعم، أكثر أهل العلم على أن من احتقن وهو صائم فقد فسد صومه. والمذاهب الفقهية الأربعة على هذا على تفصيل عندهم. He said, or احتقن. الجواب, his fasting is broken. The Shaykh says, al-ihtiqan is to take medicine through the behind, through the rectum. He says, and it's known. And this type of administration, they call it rectal administration. It could be with something which is liquid. Okay, it's mixed with water or some solution. It's a liquid form. And that's called in medicine enema. It's called what? Enema. Or it could be with something which is solid, and it's inserted from the behind, and it's called suppositories. Suppositories. It could be used as a laxative, but not every suppository is a laxative. He says, and it's known, and it's still done. It's not as common in the US, but it's more common overseas. It's more common overseas. And especially if someone isn't able to take something through the mouth, because, like, for example, if someone keeps throwing up medicine, vomiting, or they can't digest it, then it's inserted rectally so the body can benefit from it. Nasallallahu al-afiyah. So he says, and so if he administers something rectally, then he breaks his fast. And the reasoning is that something has went inside him. It has reached a body cavity. Okay? It has reached a body cavity of a human being. And so it reaches the intestine. It reaches the large intestine if you take something rectally. And so, if it reaches a body cavity, this is their reasoning. Why does it break the fast? Because it reached the body cavity. It went inside your body and it reached the body cavity. So he says, and so if something reaches a body cavity, whether it's by the mouth or by the nose or from any means, then it breaks the fast. It is something which breaks the fast. And this is what is known from the madhab of Imam Ahmad. And most of the people of knowledge are upon this. Upon what? No, that anything which is administered rectally breaks the fast. Now, most of the people of knowledge upon this, and the four madhahib have this opinion. The four madhahib have this opinion, even though there is some details within those madhahib that we're not going to talk about. قال رحمه الله وقال شيخ الإسلام ابن تيمية رحمه الله لا فطر بالحقنة لا فطر بالحقنة لأنه لا يطلق عليها اسم الأكل والشرب لا لغة ولا عرفا وليس هناك دليل في الكتاب والسنة أن مناط الحكم وصول الشيء إلى الجوف ولو كان لقلنا كل ما وصل إلى الجوف من أي منفذ كان فإنه مفطر لكن الكتاب والسنة دل على شيء معين وهو الأكل والشرب. إذن فخالف شيخ الإسلام ابن تيمية رحمه الله في هذه المسألة تبعا لبعض أهل العلم قبله شيخ الإسلام وغيره وقالوا إن الحقن لا تفطر إن الحقن لا تفطر. So he says, and Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah said that al-huqna does not break the fast. And al-huqna is what? rectal administration. It does not break the fast. Why? Because it's not called eating or drinking, not linguistically or in the customs and practices of the people. It's not considered eating and drinking. Nor is there any evidence from the Quran and Sunnah that the reason a fast is broken is because something reaches a body cavity. Okay, he's saying, what's the evidence that if something reaches a body cavity from any avenue, that it breaks the fast? The Shaykh says, and if that were the case, we would have said that whatever reaches a body cavity and from any way it breaks the fast. However, the Quran, the Kitab and the Sunnah have shown that something specific breaks the fast, and that is eating and drinking. And also whatever falls under the meaning of eating and drinking, as we said. That was the position of who? Shaykh Al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah and a small group of the people of knowledge. A small group of the people of knowledge before him have taken this position. And that is what? Something which is administered rectally does not break the fast. قال الشيخ رحمه الله وقال بعض العلماء المعاصرين إن الحقن إذا وصلت إلى الأمعاء فإن البدن يمتصها عن طريق الأمعاء الدقيقة وإذا امتصها انتفع بها فكان ما يصل إلى هذه الأمعاء الدقيقة كالذي يصل إلى المعدة من حيث التغذي به وهذا من حيث المعنى قد يكون قويا نعم لأن الاحتقان إذا كان بمائع فإن الجسم قد يمتص هذه السوائل فينتفع بها وإذا كان في الحقن أو في التحاميل مواد غذائية فإن الجسم قد ينتفع بها يمتصها وينتفع بها هكذا قالوا. He says, and some of the modern day ulama said that al-huqna, once it reaches the intestines, that the body absorbs it. Here he said through the small intestine. Allahu a'lam if that's medically accurate, whether it's through the small intestine or some other means. Regardless, they said the body absorbs it. Okay? And it absorbs it, and so it benefits from it. And so that which reaches the body through that means is like something which the body finds nourishment through the stomach. Meaning just like you can find nourishment through the stomach, you can also get nourishment if something is administered rectally. That was their argument. The ones who say what? That it breaks the fast or doesn't break the fast? That it breaks the fast, of course. That it breaks the fast. And he said, and this, when you look at the reasoning, this could be a strong reasoning. Because it could be providing nutrition to the body. If it's liquid, and his body absorbing it, then the body could benefit from it. Or if it's something which is a solid, and it has nutrients in it, and that actually does exist, suppositories which are administered rectally and provide nutrients for the body, he's saying that that could be a strong argument. مفهوم؟ قال رحمه الله ولكن قد يقول قائل إن العلة في تفطير الصائم بالأكل والشرب ليست مجرد التغذية وإنما هي التغذية مع التلذذ بالأكل والشرب فتكون العلة مركبة من جزئين أي جوابا على من قال إن هذه الحقن قد تغذي قال فتكون العلة مركبة من جزئين أحدهما الأكل والشرب والثاني التلذذ بالأكل والشرب لأن التلذذ بالأكل والشرب مما تطلبه النفوس والدليل على هذا أن المريض إذا غذي بالإبر لمدة يومين أو 3 تجده في أشد ما يكون شوقا إلى الطعام والشراب مع أنه متغذٍ. وهذه المسألة التي أشار إليها الشيخ مسألة مشكلة صعبة، وهي ما هي علة تفطير الصائم بالأكل والشرب؟ ما هي علة تفطير الصائم بالأكل والشرب؟ لأنه لا يمكن أن نقيس إلا إذا أثبتنا العلة، لا يمكن أن نقيس إلا إذا أثبتنا العلة. فما هي العلة؟ بعضهم قال العلة وصول الشيء إلى الجوف، فكل ما وصل إلى الجوف فإنه مفطر. فعلى هذا الإبر وإن كانت غير مغذية فهي تفطر عندهم، وقد قال بذلك بعض العلماء. لماذا؟ لأنها وصلت إلى جوف، لأنها قد تصل إلى جوف الإنسان. بعضهم قد يقول العلة هي التغذية، مجرد التغذية، فكل ما تغذى به الإنسان فسد به صومه، وعلى هذا فإن الحقن إذا كانت مغذية فإنها تفطر، والإبر إذا كانت مغذية فإنها تفطر، بغض النظر عن التلذذ بهذا النوع من التغذي. وقد يقول قائل كما ذكر الشيخ هنا إن العلة مركبة من الأكل والشرب والتلذذ، فإذا كان الإنسان فالإبر المغذية على هذا لا تفطر، الإبر المغذية لا تفطر، والحقن المغذية لا تفطر. لماذا؟ لأن الإنسان لا يتلذذ بها. وهذا كما قلنا من المسائل الصعبة. Now someone may say, what is the last argument that we mentioned for the ones who say that rectal administration breaks the fast? That it could provide nutrition. The Shaykh says now someone may say, as a rebuttal, that the reason eating and drinking breaks the fast isn't just because it provides nutrition, but it is because it provides nutrition as well as the enjoyment you get out of eating and drinking. So you're preventing yourself from eating and drinking and because it provides nutrition as well as the enjoyment you get out of it. You're restricting yourself from that enjoyment for the sake of Allah. So they said the reasoning is a combination of 2 things: eating and drinking and an enjoyment. Why? Because enjoying eating and drinking is something that you seek. And the evidence for this is that if a sick person is given an IV or injections for a day or 2, and it's a nutrition, and it provides nutrition to his body, he really wants to eat or drink. He's really craving food and drink, even though it's providing nutrition. And so the Shaykh, he's pointing out something which is difficult. It's difficult as it relates to the science of fiqh, and that is, what is the reason that someone breaks their fast? Is it simply because something is providing nutrition to their body? Or is it, as some of them said, that something is reaching the inside of your body? Or is it because this reason that it's nutrition but as well as the enjoyment of eating and drinking? What's the reason that something breaks your fast? Because you need to establish the reason if you want to compare other things to it. Right? If you want to do a qiyas, you need to establish what the reasoning is first, the illah, then you can say. Because if you say the reasoning is nutrition, then whatever provides nutrition would break your fast. Whatever provides nutrition would break your fast. If you say the reasoning is something reaching your insides, then injections, even if they're not nutritional, break the fast or not? They break the fast even if they're not nutritional. And some of the ulama said that. Because it goes into the body just like food and drink goes into the body. Some said that what the Shaykh said here, that it's nutrition as well as the pleasure of eating and drinking. And so according to that, if someone takes nutritional injections, does it break the fast? No. Why not? Because there's no enjoyment with it. Or if someone takes something rectally which provides nutrition, does it break the fast? No, because it provides no enjoyment. Some said is whatever the text says breaks the fast, it breaks the fast. And if the text doesn't say it, then it doesn't break the fast no matter what it is. And so, as you can see, the reasoning is, the al-illah is difficult to establish. He says, قال رحمه الله, فإن قيل ينتقض قولكم إن العلة مركبة من جزئين إلى آخره أن السعوط مفطر مع أنه لا يحصل به تلذذ بالأكل والشرب، فالجواب أن الأنف منفذ معتاد لتغذية الجسم فألحق بما كان عن طريق الفم. Someone may say, well, this could be refuted, the issue of getting pleasure from eating and drinking, is that this could be refuted by the fact that as-sa'ud breaks the fast. What is as-sa'ud? Administering through the nose. Nasal administration. Al-isti'ath. So, is that pleasurable? No. Does it break the fast? Yes. So the Shaykh says, you can answer by saying that the nose is a normal avenue, it's a normal channel to providing nutrition to the body, and so that's why it was given the same ruling as the mouth. Okay, because you can take things through the nose. You can take through the nose. قال رحمه الله وبناء على هذا نقول إن الحقنة لا تفطر مطلقا ولو كان الجسم يتغذى بها عن طريق الأمعاء الدقيقة، فيكون القول الراجح في هذه المسألة قول شيخ الإسلام ابن تيمية مطلقا ولا التفات إلى ما قاله بعض المعاصرين. وهذا القول هنا في الحقيقة غريب من الشيخ. يقول إن الحقنة أي الشرجية، الحقنة الشرجية لا تفطر ولو كان الجسم يتغذى بها، أي ولو كانت مغذية، مع أن الشيخ رحمه الله يرى كما سبق أن الإبر إذا كانت مغذية فإنها تفطر. فما الفرق بين الحقن المغذية والإبر المغذية؟ إذا كانت الإبر المغذية تفطر فيجب أن نلحق بها الحقن المغذية، الحقن الشرجية المغذية. ويوجد أدوية اليوم وحقن تدخل عن طريق الدبر من أجل إيصال عناصر مغذية إلى الجسم، هذا موجود. ثم وجدت فتوى للشيخ رحمه الله، وهذا في مجموع الفتاوى للشيخ المجلد 19، سئل عن الحقن الشرجية ثم ذكر اختلاف العلماء وذكر رأي شيخ الإسلام ابن تيمية، ثم قال والذي أرى أن ينظر إلى رأي الأطباء في ذلك، فإذا قالوا إن هذا كالأكل والشرب وجب إلحاقه به وصار مفطرا، وجب إلحاقه به وصار مفطرا. وإذا قالوا إنه لا يعطي الجسم ما يعطيه الأكل والشرب فإنه لا يكون مفطرا. وهذا القول انتهى كلامه، وهذا القول أقرب إلى الصواب، وهو أن الحقن إذا كانت مغذية فإنها تفطر، وإن لم تكن مغذية فإنها لا تفطر، فتكون العلة التغذية لا وصول الشيء إلى الجوف. قال الشيخ رحمه الله, and so according to this we say that al-huqna does not break the fast at all. Al-huqna does not break the fast at all. Even, the Shaykh is saying, even if the body is nourished through it by way of the intestines. No, al-huqan, rectal administration. He's saying that rectal administration does not break the fast in any case, even if it provides nutrition. He says, and so the correct position in this issue is the opinion of Shaykh Al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah in all cases, and we don't look at what some of the modern ulama said. And this opinion from the Shaykh in reality is strange. He's saying that anything which is administered rectally, what? Does not break the fast, even if what? Even if it provides nutrition. Even though the Shaykh holds the position, as we previously mentioned, that injections that provide nutrition break the fast. So what's the difference? What's the difference between the injection which provides nutrition and the rectal administration which provides nutrition? If you're saying one breaks the fast, then the other must break the fast. If one breaks the fast, then the other must break the fast. Because there are types of medicine today which are administered rectally, and it provides nutrition, and they call it nutrient enema, or suppositories which deliver nutrients and vitamins to the blood by way of the rectum. And so, even if it provides nutrition, and then I found a fatwa for the Shaykh rahimahullah where he was asked about this issue, and this is in Majmu' al-Fatawa of the Shaykh, the 19th volume, which is related to fasting. He said he was asked about this issue. About what? About suppositories and this rectal administration. And he mentioned the differing between the ulama, and he mentioned the opinion of Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah. Then he said, and the opinion that I hold is that you should look at the opinion of the doctors in this. If they say that it is like eating and drinking, then it's an obligation to give it the same ruling. And that is that what? It breaks the fast. And if they say that it does not give the body what eating and drinking gives it, then it does not break the fast. So it breaks the fast if it provides nutrition, like eating and drinking, and it does not break the fast if it doesn't. End quote by Ibn Uthaymeen. And this opinion is stronger and closer to what is correct. And so the reasoning would be that it breaks the fast if it provides nutrition. The reasoning would be what? The fact that it provides nutrition, not that it reached a body cavity. Okay? طيب. Conclusion? What's the conclusion? Regarding al-huqan, al-ihtiqan? That's it. Allah musta'an. أحسنت. طيب. One second. قال رحمه الله: ومن الحقن المعروفة الآن ما يوضع في الدبر عند شدة الحمى، ومنها أيضا ما يدخل في الدبر من أجل العلم بحرارة المريض وما أشبه ذلك، فكل هذا لا يفطر. ثم لدينا قاعدة مهمة لطالب العلم، وهي أننا إذا شككنا في الشيء أمفطر هو أم لا، فالأصل عدم الفطر، فلا نجرؤ على أن نفسد عبادة متعبد لله إلا بدليل واضح يكون لنا حجة عند الله عز وجل. He says, and one of these types of things that are administered rectally, which are known now, is that which is used when someone has a very high fever. As we mentioned, that some people, they can't hold down the medicine through their stomach, so it has to be administered through a different avenue. It has to. Sallallahu al-afiyah. He said some which is used for high fever, and some is to know the temperature of a sick person. He says all of this doesn't break the fast. And he says, and we have an important principle for the seeker of knowledge. And that is that if we have doubts about something, does it break the fast or not? Then the basis is what? That it doesn't. That it doesn't break the fast. He says, and so we don't risk corrupting someone's worship for Allah unless we have a clear proof with Allah Azza wa Jal. Okay, so we can't say, no, that person's ibadah is invalid, that's fasid, that's that, unless you have a clear proof with Allah Azza wa Jal. You have a clear argument with Allah Azza wa Jal. طيب. ونكمل إن شاء الله في المجلس القابل وصلى الله وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم.